Hello friends, Jeanette here with Vivo Vintage Designs. Welcome to today's video. In this video I am going to blow out a flower and I am going to use the Liquid Pearl dimensional paints by Ranger. Now just to be clear, these are not the same as the Ranger Pearl inks. These are not inks. They are a heavy consistency paint and they are dimensional. They stand out from your painting, so they're not the same. And I just wanted to clarify that because I did get a lot of comments about that in my last video. So I'll put the link in the description box below the video, and as I mentioned in all my videos, the description box is just below the title. Click on either show more or the arrow pointing down and it will expand, and there you'll see all the products used with the links and some more information as well. So for my flower I'm using Pinata Rainforest Green, which is one of my most favorite greens because it's so pigmented, and pitch black for the center. So bear with me while I blow out this flower. Now the PSI, something else that I wanted to address because I get asked this very often, is about the PSI that I use my compressor on. So I have mine set at 40, but if you're just a beginner, I recommend using a lower PSI, maybe 25 to 35, somewhere in that range, because until you get used to using the airbrush gun and setting your PSI a little bit higher, maybe using a lower PSI will allow you more control, and once you're comfortable you can raise it. I use mine at 40 because it allows me to create petals much faster. But again, it's something you need to get used to, and you have to work at whatever you're comfortable working with as far as the PSI is concerned. So you can see here I'm blowing out my petal. I'm not using enough alcohol to blow out these petals because I don't want to have to fill that little bottle. It's a tiny bottle and I really like them a lot, but I just hate refilling them because I always end up spilling alcohol everywhere, and even though I use a little funnel. So now I'm using more alcohol and you can see that my petals are becoming larger. And I'm using a good amount of alcohol, and to create large petals, that's the amount you should use. And now this tutorial is not about creating a flower. You can see I'm just using a small little piece of scrap paper. I'm using photo paper, but what I wanted to show you was creating the center for the flower. Now at this point I had been creating flowers and trying different ways to use the Liquid Pearl dimensional paints, and I found that using them straight out of the bottle, because a lot of my subscribers told me that that's how they use it, and they just use different pressure to release different amounts from the bottle. And I tried it, and maybe I need to play with it some more, but I can tell you that I wasted a lot of it because I just could not get the hang of it. So I found that this so far is what works best for me. So here you see I blew out my flower, and I had a lot of thick ink in the center there. So I just used a micro brush with some alcohol on it, and I moved that around a little bit. And then I tap it with my finger. You can use a cotton swab if you don't want to use your finger. But I just wanted to soften the edges a little bit. So I'm using a green, I can't remember the names of the colors right now, but again, it's all linked in the description box. But I'm using this pretty green, and I'm using a micro brush that I removed the little cotton piece at the bottom. It was a used micro brush. So see, I'm recycling. And I put down the dots, and then I used the tip of that little micro brush to run it through the dots, and as I'm running it through, I'm curving it. And you can see that it creates a thinner line than I was able to create using the paint right out of the bottle. And now I'm using a darker color. Again, I can't remember the name of the color, but it's almost like a gunmetal color. And I'm adding more dots and running the tip of the micro brush through there. Next time I would like to try and use something even smaller, maybe like a paper clip, the tip of a paper clip, or the tip of a pin to see if I can get even thinner lines. And again, listen, I'm open to suggestions. If you have a way or a technique that you use that you would like to share with me, I would love to hear it, and I would greatly appreciate it, because I love the way the centers look, the way they stand out from the petals. But I would like to find a better way of doing this. There's got to be, I've seen so many beautiful flowers created with the liquid pearls for the center, and they're absolutely stunning. And I would like to master it too. So if you're willing to share, I'm willing to try. I would really appreciate it. But all in all, this one turned out pretty well. I think that if my paper had been larger and I had blown out a bigger flower, that the center wouldn't overpower the flower so much. But again, I was just practicing. And of course, I wanted to share it with you. So now I've taken a little palette. I've also used the color bronze, which is one of my favorites so far, and to create the center. And now, because I want to create smaller dots and little lines, I put some in a plastic palette, and I'm using the micro brush, the tip of the micro brush, to pick up a nice amount, and then dotting it on the paper and running the tip of the micro brush through it, so that I have smaller ones in between the larger ones that I created. And I'm pretty happy with it. It looks good. It looks better than the ones that I did earlier. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you do give it a try. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll always get back to you. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your interaction is really helpful to my channel, and it's a nice way to show your support, and I really do appreciate it. So there you go. There's the finished flower. Stick around till the end. I'll post a close-up of the center so that you can see what it looks like close up. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.